Well, hello everyone, welcome to another very exciting episode right here on the MIgardener channel. I'm so excited for this episode because it's been one of the most highly requested video ideas that we've ever had on the channel, and that is to do a potting soil duel, a face-off between potting soils. And I wanted to make it a little more interesting because there's a lot of potting soils that are just about all about the same. So I wanted to kind of mix it up a little bit and compare the cheapest potting soil I could find versus a middle of the road potting soil I could find versus one of the more expensive potting soils that I could find. And so I want to start first by saying that I actually started this test about 3 weeks ago. So if you want to go back and see me starting the seeds, it's not going to really show a lot, but it's starting the seedlings. And then I took the tomato seeds because they're the fastest growing and easiest to compare, I find. So I took 3 of the same size seedlings, threw them into the same size pot. I gave them no fertilizer other than what is just in these bags here. So I just wanted to compare the potting soils. It's not to say that this would be like a long-term result, because you do have to add fertilizer to some of these. The Miracle-Gro did have a fertilizer. I knew that might skew results a little bit, but I just wanted to compare at face value the potting mix. I gave them all the same amount of water, the same amount of sunlight, and they were all, like I said, the same size when I threw them in the pots about 3 weeks ago. So at the cheaper end is this 40-pound bag here. This is the cheapest that I could find. It was $2.09. It's marketed as a potting mix. That was one. That was a contingency that it had to have, is that they all had to be potting mixes, because there were cheaper like compost, there was cheaper topsoil, but those aren't really a potting mix. So this is produced by New Plant Life. It's a potting soil. It's a 40-pound bag for $2.09. So that's a pretty good deal. And then you have more of the national brands here we're getting into. This is the Miracle-Gro Moisture Control. This did have a fertilizer in it. I could not find one of their potting mixes that did not have fertilizer in it. So it is what it is. But this ran me $8.09 at our local big box store, and this is for 16 quarts. So 40 pounds, 16 quarts, $8.09 was the price for this one. And then we get into the Pro Mix. This one here was $10.30 at our local big box store for 16 quarts as well. So the same as the Miracle-Gro. And another thing off the bat too that I will say is that I will be open and honest that I have my preferences as a gardener, but I went into this experiment with an open mindset that my mind could be changed about different things, and that I wanted to look at the different options out there. Because as a gardener, you have to do that. You can't be so closed-minded that you don't look at other options. And I also went into it knowing full well that I have my biases against Miracle-Gro. But again, I wanted to set those biases aside because I just did not want to be so closed-minded to all the options that are out there and the different price points that are out there as well. So let's start off with the cheapest potting mix here, the New Plant Life potting soil. Right off the bat, I see that it's very broken down, and I can see that it's already degraded. It does look really dark. It looks really. It does look like it has some compost added. Also off the bat, I can see that there is sand added, which is kind of a corner cut for using perlite and vermiculite. It adds good drainage without the cost and bulk of the vermiculite and perlite. There is some perlite in here. I will say it's far and few between, but there is some perlite added. And one of the other things I can see is that there are some plant roots. The plant roots indicate to me that there's also some topsoil added in here. That's not very good, but it also lowers the cost because obviously this is $2.09. It's a very entry-level potting soil. One thing I can see going wrong with this is compaction. There is just, it is loose, right? It is loose in my hand. It does break apart like a potting soil should. However, there is not the organic matter to result in long-term fluffiness. The long-term fertility of this will be slim to none. There is not enough organic matter in here to hold on to moisture, to hold on to nutrients, or to hold on to really to hold on to any air. That's what the humus does, is it adds air to the soil. This is going to compact over time as the sand filters out through the soil, and it's going to eventually choke off the roots. That's one thing that I'm seeing right off the bat here, just based on my analysis of the soil composition. As you can see, it is a cheaper mix for sure, and that's what I would expect from the price point. All right, and the next one here is the Miracle-Gro, the middle of the road potting soil. The first analysis of this is that it is very rich in organic matter. Obviously, it's completely organic matter. This is what a good potting soil should look like. It actually is mostly peat and coconut coir, and so you have a really good spongy texture that is crumbly, it is loose, and it's going to retain that. There's a decent amount of perlite in here. Another thing that I do see are the fertilizer granules. Those are obviously indicative of a pre-fertilized potting soil, kind of a once and done type mix. But the thing that I have noticed about that is that they're rarely organic. This is a pretty fair price for what you're getting, and obviously price is also based on the consumer. This might be far too expensive for someone, and that's fine. Again, this would be far too expensive for me, but if this is all I had, this would be a pretty fair price for something of this quality. All right, and now we're here with the Pro Mix. Let's roll this down here and take a look at what we're working with. So the first thing right off the bat that I noticed with this soil is that it's much, much darker. This has a really nice texture. There are clumps in here, but the clumps do break apart. That was one thing I was kind of shocked by. I was almost taken back by it for the price point that this was at. I thought, man, geez, Pro Mix, come on, you gotta sift your stuff better. But once I started breaking it up, it's actually a really good texture, and those clumps just crumble. This has the finest texture of them all. It also has the largest chunks of perlite. The larger the chunks of perlite, the more air gaps are going to be created. Air gaps are good in a potting mix because you don't want that compaction. You want the roots to be able to move throughout the growing medium very well. This is truly a very, very soft mix. The one thing I will notice with this right off the bat is that you're going to have to be careful not to overwater, because the finer the mix means the larger the surface area, and the larger the surface area means that it's going to be able to hold on to more water. I can tell that this is going to hold on to moisture very well. I can tell it's going to hold on to air extremely well, and I can also tell that it's going to drain very well because it's not going to compact over time, and that drainage really helps to keep things free of root rot and going anaerobic. So all in all, this is definitely a higher quality mix, even by just a visual perspective and a textural perspective. One of the things that I wish they would have done personally is I wish they would have added a fertilizer to this. I don't understand why they did not do that in a potting mix. It just does not really make a whole lot of sense to me, because if you're going this far to have this high of a quality mix, I would want to see some fertilizer in here. I just don't understand why you wouldn't do that, because if a consumer is picking this up off the shelf, they're a lot more likely to go with a lesser quality product that has fertilizer in it, because it's less steps for them. And a beginning gardener might run to a lesser quality that does not have any fertilizer in it. And so, just that's one thing that I wish they would have done. But all in all, it's definitely a much darker, much more broken down mix, and I'm quite impressed with this mix here. All right, so it is results time. I'm really excited to show you all the results of this 3-week test, and I understand it's not a 6 or a 12-week test. I just didn't want the fertilizer component to come into too much of a play, And I knew at 3 weeks that really would not have much of an effect. It might have a tiny bit of an effect, but it would not have a huge effect on the growth of the plant, because the Pro Mix did not have any fertilizer, and the this new plant life did not have any fertilizer either. And so I wanted to pick a time that would allow the plants to kind of grow and look at the overall growth habits of the plants in the potting mix without allowing any health components to come in, like nutrient deficiencies or things like that. And that's where 3 weeks kind of came into play, because I thought it'd be the most unbiased review of these potting mixes here. So all right, so first off, we did color coordinate the pots so that they matched the kind of the theme of the bag. That's how I remembered which pot I used. And so right off the bat here, we have the new Plant Life potting mix. As you can see, the perlite does show through once it's watered. It does kind of come to the surface a little bit, a little more apparent than in the bag. And that's good. That actually showed me it was a little higher quality than I originally expected. But all in all, it is definitely compacting. As you can see from around the corner of the pot there, it already is beginning to compact even after just 3 weeks. It's beginning to compress down, as I'm guessing the sand is filtering down throughout the soil column here in the pot. That is as to be expected with something that is, it is really heavy. I just watered these this morning, but really, really heavy nonetheless. Definitely a heavy container. The next thing is this is the Miracle-Gro here, the Miracle-Gro Moisture Control. Obviously in a blue pot to match the blue label here. Now this did go through a tiny little bit of transplant shock and kind of had a tiny little bit of leaf curl here at the bottom. But all in all, compared to the new Plant Life potting soil, it's about, I'd say, 25% larger, and it definitely grew a little bit more than the new Plant Life. It did not grow a whole ton more, but it did grow some. The new growth coming out of here is nice and healthy, obviously. It did, like I said, it did go through a little bit of transplant shock, which is sometimes expected, especially with just how temperamental tomatoes can be. But all in all, really healthy coming out, and it's definitely something that is a lot lighter as well. Overall weight, this is, if I had to guess, this is probably close to 2 to 2.5 pounds. This is maybe like about a pound to a pound and a half, about a pound and a half, I'd say. So it's quite a bit it's quite a bit lighter than the cheaper option, but of course that was also to be expected because it had more organic matter than things like sand and topsoil, which are pretty much just really heavy ingredients. And then finally is the Pro Mix. This is the higher end model, and this is what surprised me. No fertilizer at all, no fertilizer. Look at the results after 3 weeks. I did not expect that at all, especially because this had no fertilizer in it. Now again, this did go through a little bit of transplant shock. As you can see, the leaves did not quite like the move that much. And in terms of overall growth, it's almost laughable how much this plant has grown more than the other one. But overall weight compared to these, they're about the same. When it's fully watered, let's say, just well watered, they're about the same weight. This is still so much heavier. This is like at least 50 to 75% heavier, I'd say. It's just unbelievably heavy. As far as some of my initial thoughts about the quality of soil, I think definitely came into play. I think this did get overwatered a tiny bit, and I think that's what resulted in quite a harsh transplant shock, was the fact that it probably did get overwatered just a tiny bit. But once it kind of got used to the growing conditions, it really took off super well. It's greened up nicely. It's put out 3 new sets of leaves compared to basically 1.5 here. So it's about doubled the growth of all the others. And I think this also confirms that just a face-off, even as it gets face-off, that you really do get what you pay for. And I hope you all enjoyed. Hopefully you learned something new. And as always, this is Luke from the MIgardener channel, reminding you to grow big or go home, and we'll catch you all later. See ya.